Good morning, everyone. I'm doing another recipe this morning. I'm doing my deviled eggs. I'm desperately trying to come up with some clever sounding name for these. I got nothing. I'm like, devilish, bedeviled eggs? I don't know. I don't know, I came up with a few that sounded really kind of like demonic deviled eggs. I'm like, no, I don't like that. A little too freaky. Ooh, steamy. Let me turn my fan on low. Basically what I'm doing here is I got my water boiling, and honestly, I have no patience for boiling water. What I do is I use my electric kettle and I get it going, because this thing heats up water in like 3 minutes and you're good. So I'm actually going to go ahead and add a little bit of salt to the water. I am not doing this for any flavor reasons. This is purely chemistry 101 or basic science 101, I'm not sure which. This salt makes the boiling temperature of the water a little bit higher. So it's hotter water. Hotter water. Hotter water. That way when you add your eggs, they boil immediately. Put your eggs, put your eggs in boiling water. Get your water up to a rolling boil and add a couple eggs. Add a couple more. You don't want this to stop boiling. So I've added 4 eggs. I'm going to give it a minute, let it come back to a boil, and add a couple more. The reason for this, and this is your little trick for the day, the reason that you do this is if you want those eggshells to peel off cleanly and beautiful and not leave you with funky looking eggs, this is what you do. There's no magic trick. You don't add baking soda, none of that. You get that water screaming hot and you add your eggs. Because what it does is it starts cooking your eggs instantly, and the inner membrane pulls away from the egg. And so when you crack your egg open, it's not clinging to your egg. I've heard that older eggs cook better for that sort of thing. This method works for me every time. I have struggled for years, and I heard it somewhere. I don't remember where I heard it, and I wish I did, because I would give that information below, but this is my trick to perfect eggs. Whenever I do it this way, I might have one egg that gives me trouble, if that. I could probably count on one hand the amount of times I've had eggs not work for me properly. I had to cook 1 egg up this morning, so I'm doing 11 eggs. I'm doing some of these for my daughter's lunch for hard-boiled eggs, but the rest of them will all become deviled eggs. Okay. Everybody is bubbling. We are going to let these cook for a minimum of 15 minutes. They're hard-boiled eggs, so I don't really think you can overcook them. It's not like I want the yolks to be runny or anything, so 4.5 minutes now, at least 15 minutes. So I'm going to let that do. I'm going to get set up with everything else. What we're going to do with these is, once they've cooled down enough to handle, we're going to take them and crack the shell just a little bit and put them in colored water to cool down the rest of the way. Once you do that, when you peel them, they look all cool and cracked and crackly looking on the egg itself. So my plan is to do 3 different colors. I'm going to do green, purple, and I'm going to try and make a black. We'll see how that works. It might come out weird brown, or I don't know. We'll see. So I'm gonna let these do, and we'll be back. Okay, I'm back. The eggs are cooked, and I just put them in. I didn't put them in an ice bath because I actually want them to cool down in the colored water. So what I did was I just took like tap water, like regular room temperature water, put the eggs in there and put like a couple pieces of ice just to bring everything down to where I can like stick my hand in there and grab an egg. So I got a couple eggs that just cracked on their own. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put those in the water. I may have to add more water to these. The ones that aren't cracked, all you do, and I'm trying to think of where, I got a place you can see. Let's move back a little bit, shall we? Just take your egg and tap it in a few places. You're just sort of cracking the shell is what you want. And for the waters, I may have to add more water to these. For the green, I think I used 4 drops of green food coloring. The purple doesn't look very purple to me. I don't know. We'll see how that turns out. The black looks pretty good, but again, I don't know. The green I used, let's see, do I want to do another purple or another green? Yeah, let's do another green. I like that green. I think it's a pretty color. Okay, with the 4 eggs in there, that one's okay. I'm going to add a little more water to these two. Just so that they're covered. So I'm just gonna let these sit. I don't know how for long. I have to go feed the babby and get her up and dressed. So it might be a while. But they look good. I'm gonna let them just sit and be happy for a little bit. So we'll come back and check on those in a few minutes. I don't think I ever actually finished my thought with the food colorings. 4 drops of green, 4 drops of blue, 2 red for the purple, and then the black. Honestly, I'm not sure what the heck I did. I just kept dropping colors in there. I used the green, the blue, and the red. I think I did 4, maybe 3 of the blue and the green, and then 2 of the red. I don't remember. I just would put a drop in, stir it, see how it looked, put a drop in, stir it, see how it looked. So I am not really sure what I did with those. So, yeah, I'm hoping the purple comes out good. It's really dark looking, so I don't know, maybe I used too much blue. But we'll see. I haven't actually done the colors before. This deviled egg recipe, though, this is my go-to recipe I'm doing. So we will check back on these in a few. Hi, welcome back, everyone. I have gone ahead and drained the eggs, and I'm going to start cracking them open to see how they look. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that they did good. I was thinking I might have maybe should have put some vinegar in the water. That did pretty good, not too bad. I think maybe if I had put like a tablespoon of vinegar in the water of each one of these, it might have done a little better. But I'm pretty happy with the way that they came out. There we go again, see? Not bad, not bad. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and finish doing all these guys, peel them, and we'll take a look and see how they are. I am curious about the, actually, let me do these ones. I think these were the black ones, I think. Maybe these ones were supposed to be the purple ones. Usually to get the peel to cut or the shell to come off, I will peel them under a little bit of running water. They just seem to peel easier that way. Oh, that's not bad. See how cool? So let's see this last one. Let's see what color. I think that was supposed to be the purple. That didn't quite work out the way I had wanted it to, but oh, let me run that under a little water. Oh yeah, this one was the black one. See how cool that looks? Alright, let me get these done and we'll pop back on to make some deviled eggs. Okay, so I got everybody peeled, and I think they came out pretty freaking awesome. These were the black ones. The black ones came out the best, honestly. I think if I were to do it again, I'd probably do them all in the black. The green ones are pretty nifty, but I think two things: I should have used more food coloring, and I should have probably maybe put like a tablespoon of vinegar in the water. I think that might have helped. The purple's not really purple. It's not quite as dark as the black ones. So I don't know what I would have done differently with the purple ones. Might have just done them red and been done with it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and cut everybody, well, almost everybody, in half. Because 3 of them are going to remain for my daughter's lunch. And I am just cutting them and setting them on a, because they're kind of wet, because they were sitting in, water. So I'm going to leave, I'm going to set, I'm having a brain fart today. I'm setting them on a paper, or on a paper towel, plate lined with a paper towel. There we go. That, I got it out, see? Because they are a little wet still. I think I'm probably going to leave the purple ones for my daughter's lunch. And I'll do the black and the green ones for the recipe. Now I am just sticking with my tried and true deviled egg recipe. What I am going to do is add just a little bit of green food coloring to make the filling green. Now normally what I would do is I would dump my little egg yolks in my food processor, but my food processor is kind of buried right now, so I don't want to have to go digging to pull it out. So I'm being a little lazy. So I'm leaving these 3. It's on my spoon rest. I'm leaving these 3 for my daughter's lunches. She likes just the regular old hard-boiled eggs. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my beaters to beat these up and kind of break them up a little bit. You can use a fork, that is fine. It actually would normally be what I would do is I would throw my yolks in the food processor and just pulse them so they're, and then dump everything in a bowl and use a fork. But I'm feeling kind of lazy today and I don't want to do that. Enough. I'm going to throw the other ingredients in there. Now, I honestly have never measured this recipe. It is just sort of a one that I've always thrown together and tasted as I go. So since I didn't do a full dozen eggs, I'm going to say maybe about a half a cup of mayonnaise. I may come back to that in a minute. A tablespoon of yellow mustard. Oh no, I dropped the lid. A splash of soy sauce. And then wipe the mayonnaise off the lid of the soy sauce. Normally I use Tabasco. I don't have Tabasco right now, so I'm using Crystal. It doesn't change the taste that much, so that kind of depends on how hot you like your eggs. My husband almost screwed me out of eggs today because I'm down to like maybe a tablespoon left. Luckily, you just need a splash or two of soy sauce or Worcestershire. My husband drinks this stuff straight from the freaking bottle, okay? I turn around and it's gone. If I need to use it for something, I'm SOL. So, used those. I'm going to do a sprinkle. Wrong one. Well, that one's not open yet. That one's my open one. A sprinkle of garlic powder. And then my Tony's. You can use Lowry's, is awesome, but I don't have any Lowry's right now. But Tony's. I mean, honestly, I'm maybe using a teaspoon. Maybe two. That is actually pretty good. Might do a little more Worcestershire. That's good. That's simple. So easy. Now I'm going to take and do a drop. This is like really thick food coloring. Dollar Tree. Got them at Dollar Tree. Couldn't find them at Publix. I don't know if they were out. Couldn't find it at Walmart. I don't know. They had those gel food colorings. It's like $14 for 4 food colorings. No thank you. No thank you. So I went to Dollar Tree. They had them at Dollar Tree. Definitely need more food coloring. Okay, so we got that blended up. Truly, I prefer to put it in the food processor first because you get a finer, like there's still like little chunks of yolk. But lighting, no. Lighting, there we go, maybe, there, ha, 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 ha. Anyway, there's still little chunks of like yolk, but you know what, that's okay. This is for Halloween and textures, you know, but normally like if I'm doing it for Easter or something like that, I'll put it in the food processor, and that way it pulses the yolks to like a fine, almost powder, and you get this wonderfully smooth deviled egg yolk mixture. So, pro tip, what I am doing now is I've just put a plastic bag in a mug to hold it open for me. I am sliding that bad boy into the mug. You can just use a spoon and fill up your eggs, but I just find this so much easier, cleaner. And, you know, if you've got tips, like piping bag tips and stuff, I could have used one. I have some. I got some for my daughter's birthday, but, you know. Now, for the yolk mixture, I ended up using 2 drops of green, 2 drops of blue, and 1 yellow. To get this particular shade of green. You know, each time you make it, it's going to be different because depending on the color of your egg yolks. You know, I would probably next time start with blue and just see how it goes. Okay. So let's slide these guys off the paper towel. Okay, so I basically just snipped the end off of that. And it would be helpful if I actually put the plate somewhere you all could see it, wouldn't it? Haha. Move that pot handle out of the way. There we go. That is much better now. See if there's any other ones. I always end up with like a little bit left over at the end. I don't know why. It just seems to be the way it works. Everybody is pretty full, so I don't want to overfill them. Okay. There we go. They are looking green and ghastly. So we will go ahead and take a look at those. How cool is that? That is like so nifty. I would probably crack my eggs a little more next time so I had more veins running through, but how cool is that? And you could stick that the mixture in the fridge before you actually squirt the eggs with them, so they are a little runny, but they'll firm up in the fridge. So, but yeah, how cool is that? Oh my gosh! Let's see how one of the green ones looks. Yeah, the green ones weren't as dark, but they're so good. The one thing I do different is if I had Lowry's, I would use that, the Lowry seasoned salt. Or if you have a little celery salt, it just gives it I don't know, a deeper flavor. You can kind of taste the celery salt. That's the only thing that the Tony's is kind of missing that the Lowry's has. But yeah, so deviled eggs, green deviled eggs. You could put like sliced olives on top and make them look like eyeballs. But yeah, no, I think that's nifty. So cool. That is so cool. Now, if you don't like the idea of, and I keep fiddling with that one, and so the fiddling's getting all weird. If you don't like the idea of using the artificial colors, you could always do, I have a recipe that's like 1,000-year-old eggs. It's where you basically brew a strong tea. Just go to the store, get yourself some Liptons, boil some water, put like 2 or 3 tea bags in it, and get it a real dark tea. Do the same technique. Crack the outside and set them in that tea. You could, no, I wouldn't cook them in it, because obviously you can't do that with crack. What was I thinking there? No, but you go ahead, cook your eggs, and then make yourself a strong tea and set your eggs in it and let them sit for like an hour. And that'll give it, it'll be more of a brown cracks on the outside, but I've seen that before, and that's really, looks really good too. So, awesome. Next time I do these, I will probably do them all with the black, because I think that looks really cool. Alrighty, well that's pretty easy. I mean, simple recipe. And we will talk to you later. Bye. Good afternoon, everyone. I am just giving a little update. I did a little bit of experimenting with a couple other eggs. Since I put them in my daughter's lunch, I went ahead and hard-boiled some additional eggs, just because the color wasn't that bright on the ones that I had done in the video. So I have some here that actually turned out pretty good. I did these a few days ago. These ones actually came out pretty darn good. They've been sitting together in a bag, so you got some colors that are sort of bleeding. Like this was a green one, but it's been up against ones that were like purple, so it's, you know, got colors running together. They're a little wet from sitting in the bag. I got this one here that was one of the purple ones that I did. Focus on the egg. I think those look pretty cool. Another green one. Now, these have been sitting for a couple of days just because I did them a little while ago. When they first came out, like, you could really see the lines of the, where the cracks were. Like, it was a really clear line. So, basically, once they've sat for a little while, the dye has sort of bled out into the whites around it. Here's another one. So, like, all of these craggly little spots were all really clear lines when it first came out of the shell. I'm trying to get it to focus on the egg. I don't know. I think they look kind of cool now that they've sat for a couple of days. But if you just did them like the day before and then went and made your eggs, you'd have a much brighter color. So what I did with these, I just put the close up video, didn't tell you what I did. Yeah, it would have been bright. What I did with these is I did a little more research to try and figure out, you know, how to make the color more vibrant in them. And one of the hints that someone had was take your eggs, and once you crack them, instead of doing them like in a bowl of water like you would an Easter egg, do them in a plastic bag, just a zip top type bag. I did like 6 or 7 eggs, but So I did 2 eggs per bag, but you could use a slightly bigger bag. I'd choose a sandwich size bag, but if you use like a quart size bag. So I put 2 eggs in each bag, and I did a green one, a purple one, and actually the purple came out pretty good. And then I did one that was sort of like a mixture, or I did one bag that was sort of like a mixture because I was trying to get sort of that black color again. That turned more purple, honestly. But I think they look really cool. But yeah, I just took a few drops of food coloring and put it in the bag, and then put like maybe a tablespoon of water in. But before I put the water in, I sort of rolled the eggs around in the food coloring to try and get everybody together and working right. So once I did that, I went ahead and added a tablespoon of water, zipped up the bag and kind of squeezed the air out of it, and then zipped it up the rest of the way, and then rolled everybody around again so that things really got together properly. So that's what I did to get these colors so vibrant. I would like to try red, honestly just a red, and see how that comes out. But I probably won't get to it before Halloween. Because it's, you know, about a week and a half away now. So, and I don't even think my daughter has gotten her costume picked out, honestly. I know she wants to be, but it's like we haven't worked on her costume at all. So, we may just have to throw something together last minute. But yeah, no, it was funny. My husband came in. I was in our room, and my husband comes in. He's like, "Are those eggs in the fridge from Easter?" I was like, "What?" Because I wasn't even thinking eggs. He just blindsided me with this question. I was like, "What?" I was like, no, I did this a couple of days ago. Could you imagine how bad that would smell if we had eggs left over from, when was Easter? March or April this year? I mean, ugh. That would, our whole house would reek of that at that point, but no. So that's what I did to try and get the colors more vibrant. I have one here that sort of turned out funny. I think might be interesting to do though, because I had a few eggs when I did it initially that had a crack in them, so the white sort of leaks out and you end up with this weird bulbous sort of pieces to it. I kind of wonder what it would look like if you maybe like cracked a couple spots in some eggs and let it pooch out the side and then do them in the colors, what it would look like. It's sort of like little brains in there. Might be sort of neat. But yeah, so that's how I did that, and that's how I got the more vibrant color. So put them in a bag with food coloring, and then add just a tablespoon or so of water to that and let them sit. I let mine sit for a couple hours in the fridge, and then when I took them out, I took them out in the sink and just sort of rinsed them off and then peeled them. But yeah, when they first came out, the lines were much clearer, but after they sat for a few days, it's the sort of spread into the whites and made them sort of mottled, and I don't know, I think they look pretty cool personally. So yeah, that's just a little update before I post this video. I wanted to go ahead and add that in at the end to let you know what I did, and maybe a couple pointers. But yeah, so we will talk to you later. Bye.